Sandcastle is the latest Netflix original film, and it is directed by Fernando Coimbra, written by Chris Rosner, and it stars Nicholas Hoult, Henry Cavill, Glenn Powell, and Logan Marshall Green. And this film is set during the beginnings of the Iraq War. This is a small group of soldiers who go to a small town who doesn't have any supply of water. And this is a dangerous town because it is not under US control fully. There's a sheikh running this town, and these soldiers must fix the pipes because it was the fault of the US military for ruining the pipes and not having water run into it. I really like how the trailers looked for this film, and I like the all-around cast. I like Nicholas Hoult, and he is in this movie very good, but he's also a type of character that I don't think many people do enjoy, because I am constantly surrounded by people who don't enjoy this type of character, because Nicholas Hoult in this film, he's not sure of his role there, he's not sure what his purpose is, he's not sure of the purpose of the whole war even. But over anything else, he is the audience. This guy, he is supposed to be the eyes of the audience, to question these soldiers and the villagers and everything that is going around. Everything that happens in this movie is supposed to be seen through the eyes of Nicholas Hoult, who's the most ingenuine character in this film, and it's supposed to be that because that's how the audience feels in these scenarios of war, at least the majority of the audience. I also gotta say, Henry Cavill, I have always loved this guy. I'm so happy he's Superman, but this guy can do anything. I also loved him in Man from U.N.C.L.E., and if you did not see that film, please watch it. This guy is great. He doesn't have a lot of screen time, but he steps into every role in such a different fashion. He embodies each role in a very unique way, and it just shows the range and talent and ability of this guy, and I was so happy to see him portray such a different role. He is your typical tough, rough soldier. He's as tough on the inside as he is on the outside, but he plays an important role on paper. As I said, he doesn't have much screen time, but his character definitely belongs in this film, in this story, and does what he has to do. But who surprised me the most in this film and who I enjoyed thoroughly was Logan Marshall Green. Not only a great performance, and actually the only great performance I can say there is in this film. The other ones are good, very good, but this guy is great, and I love his character. He develops this mentor-mentee relationship with Nicholas Hoult, but this relationship grows. It grows into a relationship of mutual respect, and in a way you can look and assume that there is true friendship there. The bond between these two is established very well, developed very well, and in my opinion, without spoiling anything, it concludes very well. And this movie also is very nonchalant about what it's trying to say. This movie seems very realistic. It seems greedy and rough and tough, and it doesn't hold anything back. This is not a sugarcoating movie. The dialogue, the images, what happens in this story, this seems like what would happen in these situations that are presented in the film. And I like that we get to see the camaraderie of the soldiers above anything else. We've seen it done better before. We've also seen it many times done worse before. But what is in this movie, it's good to see, and it gives the characters more opportunity to flesh out. But now this leads me to my negatives. For the most part, you keep asking yourself what the movie is truly about, what it is trying to say. And the movie is very passive about itself. It's very passive about the story. It doesn't go full throttle into anything, into any meaning. And maybe that was the purpose of the film. Not every film needs to have a meaning. But this movie clearly has one. And it doesn't really go into it until the last 40 minutes of the film. And I do think while they show the camaraderie of the whole group in general, there are some characters that are very disposable. You don't know much about them. You see that two guys specifically in this group hang around very well. They seem to be good friends. You get a lot of focus on Logan Marshall Green and Nicholas Hoult. You get a lot of focus on the group in general. You see that they are good friends. You see that they get along very well. But that's it. There's not a focus on every single member of this group. Again, not even on Henry Cavill, and I would have liked to see a little more fleshing out of each character, maybe even if it would take away from the fleshing out we got to Nicholas Hoult and Logan Marshall Green. I will also say, unfortunately, there are moments where this film drags. These soldiers, they have to ask for help from the villagers, and they get that help. It just drags a lot, and there are many scenes and moments in storytelling that do feel repetitive a little bit. They keep going to the same place, and they seem to be having the same conversations over and over again. It seems realistic. For a narrative, you can adjust those moments to keep a story going. Also, an unfortunate recurring problem in this film, and many like this film, I didn't feel the urgency. For the most part of this film, as you ask yourself what this movie is truly about, what is it trying to say, there's not a sense of urgency. I don't feel much danger for the characters I do care about. I didn't feel anything apart from the situations where they were, in fact, in danger in those moments. And apart from that, the movie is just, again, very passive about itself and about trying to get to those moments where you get exhilarated and you get energetic and you want to root for these characters to survive, and apart from those moments, it completely loses the urgency in this situation that the characters are going through. But Fernando Coimbra did a good job. He's able to capture the soldiers and their moments and their camaraderie, and I will say that despite not many of them being three-dimensional characters, you can see that not all of them are equal. There's good guys, there's guys who are complete assholes, there are Americans to the core and just say stupid things that you might expect to hear certain people say in these situations. Again, Sandcastle is not spectacular, it is not great, but it is not a bad movie. There's good characters, there's good character dynamics, there's a good story in here that gets a little bit dragged out, but the cinematography is great, I think the music is great, and I think the overall directing, for what the story was, for what the script said, this is a good film. It's exactly what a Netflix film is. When I say Netflix film, I mean a film that you put on TV and you can do something else like write or watch videos on YouTube, and the movie's just going on the screen right next to you or in front of you, and that is a Netflix film. And for a Netflix film, Sandcastle is good, and because of that, I will say that Sandcastle is a martini. It is a good time, anytime. What did you think of Sandcastles, my beautiful geekies? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? What is your favorite greedy war film about characters who represent the eyes of the audience? Let me know all of that in the comments below. Let me know that in the comments below, and as you go down to the comments, click in the description and go join the beautiful Geeky Community Facebook group and meet many other geekies and many other awesome people. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Tomorrow I'll return with another review. So until then, you stay beautiful and you stay geeky. And if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united!